Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Brahmanandam Param Sukhadam Kevalam Dhyan Murtim Dvandvatitam Gagan Sadrisham Tattvamasyadi Lakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Om. Adorations to Sadguru, who is Brahman, the giver of supreme bliss, embodiment of pure consciousness, one without a second, vast as the ether, infinite, eternal, beyond the three gunas and their modifications, the supreme preceptor. Yoga Vasistha, Upashama Prakarana, section 56. The topic is the state of enlightenment. Samadhi of a sage. You are being given an insight into the state of enlightenment. The state of enlightenment cannot be imagined by your mind. So you are being given palabras, words. The best words that can be possible. But those words become more effective under proper guidance. And they become more effective if you are practicing in your daily life. If you are just going after theory, then all those words become a bigger burden. You go after word after word. But just to remind you, practicing you, sadhana in daily life is a four-aspected movement. Your action, how do you have, what attitude do you have when you are doing your duties, what you are looking for. Actions will become karma yoga. You are looking for becoming more relaxed, not driven by anger, hate, allowing your energy to flow. The whole world is kind of a music performance. You can always go in discord, or you can go in accord. You go into disharmony. When you go in disharmony, everything looks chaotic. All the sounds are useless, stressful. Go melodic, all sounds are so wonderful, sweet. Karma yoga has that type of subtle purpose behind you. Doing your duties, you are putting yourself in harmony. And with karma becomes much more perfected when bhavana, feeling becomes purified. What are you loving? Whom are you loving? Are you loving yourself? But who is yourself? Love that goes beyond your own concepts. And that love begins to unfold if you are practicing bhakti yoga, japa, satsanga, and all those details we have given. Third aspect is your will aspect of the mind. Mind always makes a decision and tries to follow. And your decision becomes shaken very easily, your will is weak. You start going to prepare for tea, but suddenly your will changes. Start preparing coffee. I'm joking. That will aspect should become strong will, but strong will doesn't mean that you created stress in your mind. When you create a stress, then that's not yoga. If you are practicing integral movement, you are moving through melody. Musicians go on expressing one little swar with long singing process. Behind that there is strong will. And it is not taxing you, it is relaxing you. That's the dhyana movement. And jhana. Your understanding becomes more and more profound. It doesn't stay in intellectual level. Intellectual level is palabras. Deeper level is your profound experience. All these four come into harmony and integration as you do sadhana in a right way. And that's your objective, that's your goal. If you are simply working with the morning hours to succeed in meditation and forgetting about how you are living your whole day, so disorganized day, you don't have any proper time to sleep, don't have proper time to relax. If that is so, in your mind and your diary, you are writing, oh, I've done 3 months of intense sadhana. Kundalini is coming up. The dreams have become improved. I'm joking. Your idea of success itself goes into turmoil. You don't know what is success. You hold on to some good memory for a long time. This samadhi I had when I was 8 years old. So, that state of mind, that's not success. Success in Jnana Yoga, understanding, goes beyond your intellect. So it is always described intuitional. But all these four are always together. Whether you give emphasis only on karma or bhakti or dhyana or jnana, all others are there, you cannot ignore it. Just like when you move into any activity, your feet are there with you, your hands are there with you, your neck is there with you, your head is there with you. You may say it is my leg work, it is my hand work, but it is all together. You can never separate. That is called yoga. Be a yogi means allow all these four to flow in a rhythmic harmony. then your success comes to you in such a spontaneity that you do not have even to tell people, look how I have succeeded. Rather, people will say, oh, you have become so calm and so gentle, so gracious. I say, have I? I didn't know it. So that's called real success. Where egoism does not come up to authenticate your success. The aroma of humility gives that proof that you have succeeded. A flower doesn't shout, look, I'm blooming. Its fragrance authenticates its blossom. Figure that out. With that, we continue the teachings presented by sage Vasishtha to Rama. Whatever action a sage performs, whatever he gives as a gift, whatever he eats, whatever he offers as an oblation into sacred fire, he does all with the vision that he is not the doer, he is the self. So, ultimate wisdom expresses in all details, even when you are eating, how it is going through your mouth, who is tasting it. A deeper divine melody flows into your heart, that everything that you are doing is your sadhana. How you are eating, how you are interacting with people, how you are doing all the chores, including your own sadhana. Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagnavu Brahmanahutam, the Gita says. Everything becomes Brahmarpanam, surrender to God. All things you are handling is Brahman. Brahman means your innermost self. He has no need for action, nor has he any need for renouncing action. For souls that are evolving, who are not enlightened, every day you are looking for a change, to get out of the past and get into something comforting, something more delightful. And the mind always looks for some happening. And a happening is promoted by your karma. So what should I do to be happy? And the mind has lots of opinions, a lot of imaginations and concepts about it. And you're constantly working for it. Simple point to understand, happiness is not gained by objects of the world. There is a Hindi saying, see, Sukh is not produced, Sukh is happiness. सुख खेत में न उपजे, सुख न हाथ बिकाए. Happiness is not produced by farming. Some seeds of happiness sow it and God harvesting it. And it is not sold anywhere in the markets, even the best of markets. That happiness is your innermost reality. You don't gain it, you don't buy it, you don't create base, you don't experience it as a result of karma. It is ever-present reality. Therefore, when you are sleeping, everything moves away. But what you are gaining, a type of happiness that you didn't gain all through your day. And that points to the fact that the goal of your life, absolute happiness, is your essential nature known as ananda. An experience of that is also known as bhuma. Enlightenment gives you not karma-based happiness, which is fleeting, and like mirage, not real. The absolute reality, real happiness is ananda, bliss. Bliss absolute. So he has no need for karma, nor has he any need for renouncing karma. Actions continue in a spontaneous way. The sage, as you become more and more Godward, you don't have to become absolutely enlightened, but even the very step you take towards ascending to that height of enlightenment, every step you take makes you experience that your activities, karmas that you face day by day, they are not hurting you. From practical point of view, you will handle your actions with all practical details. Practicality is never negated in a spiritual movement, no matter how much Brahman is real. Every practical detail has to be observed. And that is not contradicted by dhyana. So therefore, since action, you are not gaining out of your karma now flows in a spontaneous way. Whatever karma flows, is, if you are profoundly progressing or internally advanced, first stage, all types of karmas as they flow, you make them agreeable to you for your spiritual advancement. How? Adversity has its benefit. It's allowing you, giving you an opportunity to look for a strength from within your own heart. In the beginning it seems difficult, but soon you realize God has been there behind you. So it is just a simple matter. The child has been in turmoil, and the answer to the turmoil, the mother is near you. And once the attention goes to the mother, all the turmoil goes. Your activities continue, but the turmoil goes. So, term is sahaj. Karmas flow in your personality. As I was expressing, adversity gives you benefit. Prosperity encourages you and inspires you to go further. Both ways. Your life doesn't become shallow. Shallow implying people face adversity and prosperity, but neither they are enriching themselves by their prosperity, nor they are in any way strengthening their will by adversity. Adversity gives you one big slap on one cheek, prosperity gives you another slap on the other cheek. The cheeky word. There's nothing but slip slap. But thus rising beyond both, no slip, no slap. He abides in the self. Just as flowers do not bloom in stones, in the same manner desires do not arise from the enlightened mind of a sage. Enlightened mind, it's all allegorical, is unproductive of the world process. World process means unproductive of desires, vasanas, subtle desires, karmas, cravings. All these arise out of your mind because impressions of karmas are there in your unconscious. They are like seeds, always waiting to be fructified. And everything that you do, if you are not enlightened, creates a seed in your unconscious. But in the case of one who is enlightened, his mind has become like a big rock. No seeds can go into it. No seeds can sprout. Even rocks don't follow that much. But his rock is completely impervious. Chiddagana. The rock of pure consciousness that does not have any hole in it. If desires are seen to arise, they are perceived by him as waves or ripples in the ocean of the self. The ocean is not agitated by its waves, nor even by big tides. Ocean remains completely without emotion. So if there is ocean-like awareness, that awareness continues to be the highlight in the life of a sage. And if you are moving towards it, progressively you develop that type of stability as if you are in the depths, you are diving deep. Coming to another aspect to understand, even after enlightenment, the body of a sage continues to exist. Not just body means his whole personality continues to exist, led by prarabdha karma. karma that has already given this body and it's already in operation. It has to complete its operation, then the body will move away. But while karma is in operation, it is not creating new karmas. In the case of one who is not enlightened, you are always creating new karmas. And those karmas maintain your soul moving from one embodiment to another. And it is unending. But with enlightenment, there is no coming back into the world. But the moment you become enlightened, you don't vanish from the world. You are led, you continue to exist. And different sages have different expressions of their personality. And they go through different stories. Put it more defined way. Prarabdha is of three types. Swecha, Parecha, Aniccha. Swecha Prarabdha, things you yourself have decided to do and you are able to do it. So how you desire, accordingly, you are succeeding. Things are in accord with how you think, how you desire. But life always doesn't give you that situation. Not always, even in a single day. You desire to be warm and cozy, but the nature brings you cold and breezy. Cold and breezy. So, when that happens, called anicca prarabdha. Things that you didn't desire is completely against your idea. And yet that comes. Another is called parecha prarabdha. You have no desire and the world is not, nature is good, but some of people around you, your fans, they have surprised you with having created a project for you. All these three go on with every individual, but they go on creating karmas. They go on along in sages as well, but they don't create karmas. His role as, from divine point of view, whatever is his prarabdha is in line with inspiring many people. His adversity inspires people how to face adversity. His inspiration inspires people how to seek inspiration by spiritual advancement. Everything that happens in a sage becomes inspiring and sets an example. A sage becomes one with the world, and the world becomes one with him. The world here refers to the entire universe. The entire universe is nothing but projections of the cosmic mind. All your world is nothing but your function of your mind, chitta vrittis, thought waves of your mind. When you dream, the entire dream world is you. In order to understand waking state, you must understand you and the dream world are nothing but one and the same. Similarly, you as not the individual concept of soul, but the real you, and all that you are experiencing, all that you hear about the world, and all that you know about the world, all this is nothing but the same Brahman. If you have understood the dream and you are one and the same, this whole world is a long dream, and you as this Brahman, one and the same. Sarvam Brahmamayam Jagat. The entire world is nothing but Brahman. Just like your dream is Atmamayam Jagat. The entire dream is nothing but your own soul. Nothing has changed. The entire universe is one. And at that stage you become a verse. That's the state of highest melody. Melody of eternity. In section 57, more insight is being given into the entire world or universe is the self. But how is it that people are wandering away from the self, as if self has become externalized? There's nothing external. When you go to sleep, in dream, there is neither external nor internal. But in your dream, you have both concepts. You go into a building, you get out of the building, there is external, there is internal. And all together, from a different angle, you become externalized, as it were, in your dream. Your self, Brahman, has become externalized through Maya. But this is externalized universe. In essence, is the same Brahman. Sage Vasishtha continued, O Rama, just as saline taste is homogeneous in salt. This is one of the Upanishadic experiments. An aspirant wants to know, learn about Brahman. And he says, bring a glass of a cup of water, put salt in it. And when salt has dissolved, he asks him to taste the salt. First take the spoon and take only from the upper surface. Then let the spoon dive a little more and get from a deeper state of the water. Is there any change? It's all salt. The entire water is nothing but salt, saline. The entire universe is nothing but Brahma, Brahmide. Brahmamayam. This is what we mean by homogeneous. Brahman permeates this world in a homogeneous way. implying that there is no such thing. There is more Brahman here, less Brahman there. Everything in this world, things that appear so ugly to you, so negative, or things that appear so wonderful, every speck of it is nothing but Brahman. Homogeneous presence of Brahman behind the entire universe. Ocean is homogeneous behind all waves. That is the I am in you. That I am is waiting for you to recognize it. Lead that I am to that magnanimous state. Otherwise your aham has gone into mayhem. Constant turmoil. Not a day the mind stays without complaint. Now, it's opening the door to allowing your mind to look at the world as if we are looking at scriptures, pages of scriptures. And that type of view is very subtle movement and is a divine art of upasana, nirgun upasana, sagun upasana. That which is the essence of water is also the essence of all that exists. That which is the essence of a stone is also the essence of all this universe. Any object that you go after, what's the essence behind it? There are countless reflected suns. But go after any reflected sun. That's the essence of that where you are looking at. But that essence is the essence of all reflected suns. So, your mind has to understand totality, not single out of multiple things of this world. There is no multiplicity. The essence is one and absolute. Multiplicity is like a mirage behind it. So therefore, what it implies, even in your bathtub, man changa ta katvat mein Ganga. The essence of the water in your bathtub is the essence of all the waters. So don't create in your mind that I have to go to different sacred spots. 50-degree sacred will be in Gangas, 10-degree sacred will be there, and so forth, and collect them all. Rather, wherever you are focused on, whatever you are attending to, behind what you are attending to is the entire universe. And Brahman himself. Figure that out. That's called ekagrata. Brahman alone exists in spite of countless things that the mind goes after. It's not a very difficult thing to understand. You sit by your computer and you see countless things coming out of your computer. And computer says, I alone exist. Whatever little you are experiencing from the computer, you're reading a few words, or seeing few scenes, or hearing some music. Behind that, the entire computer set is there. Try to understand that. Don't take it out of the computer. Computer is not separate. Brahman is behind all that exists. So therefore, your mind should have that subtle, divine, mystic sense. That's why when your prasad is given to you, mystic sense of the mind, it is coming from God Himself. It is that essence which has assumed the forms of I and you and all the objects of this world. That essence is Brahman. And just to reiterate what I have been giving again and again, Brahman, his magical power is Prakriti. So whatever Brahman expresses through his magical power, that all expressions are not different from Brahman. And those expressions by his magical power are real for those who are under the control of magic, Maya. But those who are not dominated by magic, they don't see the world. Brahman alone is. That which is the essence of ether element is also the essence of the whole universe. It is that essence which has assumed the forms of I and you. So when you think of yourself, who am I? Brahman. When you think of others, they are also Brahman. When you think of me, it's Brahman. Think of mine, that also is Brahman. Just as nectarine rays emanate from the moon, so do the worlds emanate from the self. Just as luster emanates from a diamond, so too the world emanates from the Absolute. And add to it, just as the sun so many illuminations emanate from the sun. Similarly, all this world, multiplicity, emanate from Brahman. When you give emphasis on wisdom, the illustration of the sun. Emphasize divine love or bhakti, moon, it becomes the symbol. And when you emphasize practical reality, diamond becomes the symbol. Sun, moon and diamond. Jnana, bhakti and karma. For the Supreme Self, there is nothing to be acquired or known in the world. Remember now, Supreme Self, through his magical power known as Prakriti, and Prakriti becomes three-aspected. Sattva predominating Maya. Brahman through Maya plays the role of Ishvara, God, who is controller, who is firstly creator, known as Brahma, sustainer, Vishnu, destroyer, Shiva. All these roles Brahman is playing through the magical power. And only for those who are under magical spell, this world has its reality in many stages. It's a reality in the form of God plane, how gods are controlling the world. Reality in the form of souls, how they evolve and how they are being guided. And the reality in the form of all matter that the soul uses for its evolution. So, Sattva predominating Maya brings about Brahman in terms of ruler, like Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all. Same Brahman through Rajas predominating Prakriti, called avidya, expresses in the form of countless souls, jivas. And same Brahman through tamas predominating becomes all the world of matter. That I will repeat again and again. Just as liquidity abides in water, wind in the atmosphere, in the same way this world abides in Brahman. In fact, this world has no independent existence. Seen through intuitional vision, the world does not exist. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone is real. When you wake up, you alone are real. The entire world of your dream never existed. The individual soul continues its individuality as long as it is identified with the senses, mind and body. As long as you are identified with 3 bodies and 5 sheaths, so long you are in a state of illusion. 3 bodies, your physical body. Your subtle body is mind, senses, intellect, ego all together. Your causal body is your deep unconscious. And soul is identified with body. You do all your works in your waking state. Identified with your subtle body, you experience your dream world. Identified with the causal body, you experience absence of the world in your deep sleep. And these 3 bodies, they are further divided into 5 layers. Your physical body is food sheath. Next layer is your vital sheath. Body doesn't exist without vital forces. And next to behind the vital forces is mind. Without mind manipulating the vital forces won't operate in an effective way. And behind the sheath of mind there is intellect and ego, Vijnanamaya. And behind the intellect ego comes the causal sheath, called bliss sheath. It gives you deep joy when you go to sleep. In a Vedantic way, you need to understand you are separate from all. So that becomes your target, to be free of body identity. And when we talk of body, we are talking about all the 5 sheaths. and all the three bodies. Three bodies are like three sections in a box. 5. The middle section has 3 subsections. So from that point of view, it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when the soul frees itself from this identity, it discovers its essential divinity as Brahman. When the soul enters into illusion, Brahman undergoes a process of illusory modification and appears as the world process. The soul comes under the spell of the magical power of Prakriti. Caught in the world process, the soul continues to experience numerous cycles of birth and death. But by taking recourse to the scriptures and the teachings of the spiritual preceptors, and by following the path of integral yoga that I have explained, the soul discovers the essence behind the objects. The essence is Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. There is no essential difference between the soul and the Creator. Same Brahman is Ishvara reflecting in Maya process, Sattva predominating Prakriti. Same Brahman is Jiva reflecting in Avidya, Rajas predominating Prakriti. Jiva, your soul, and God, who is guiding all souls and looking after their process from bondage to release. Both of them are Brahman manifesting in 2 forms. In briefest of the brief, you are Brahman. And you are one and the same in all the 3 planes. Identified with body, you are Vishwa. And Vishwa relates to universal spirit, Virat. Identified with the subtle body, you are Tejas. As such, you are cosmic. Subtle body, cosmic mind is Hiranyagarbha. Identified with your causal body, you are Prajna. And the entire causal body of the universe is Ishvara. In brief, you are in all the 3 planes, A-U-M of Om, and beyond Turiya, the 4th, where all are transcended. With this we conclude. That concludes this section 57. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukam Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashchid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.